Did y'all see, I didn't watch it, JD Vance stepping in to Charlie Kirk's shoes? Let me tell you what I think is going on with that. I made a post about it, but a lot of you don't follow me out there on social media. So let me tell y'all what I think is happening here. So Charlie Kirk, his podcast is going to continue on. And yesterday, JD Vance sat in Charlie Kirk's seat. He hosted Charlie Kirk's podcast on yesterday, right? And JD Vance spewed lies that could be easily debunked. Said Charlie Kirk never said that Black women don't have the brain processing power. Remember that? And people are feeding into it, you know, saying what Charlie Kirk said and then coming back with what Charlie Kirk actually said. Y'all know what I'm saying. He said it. There's video proof of him saying it, right? Did he say Black women specifically? No. He called out Michelle Obama's name. He called out Ketanji Brown Jackson. He called out Joy Reid. He called out somebody else's name. When you watch that and you factor in context clues, remember we learned about context clues in elementary school? Context clues. One of the context clues in Charlie Kirk's statement was Michelle Obama, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Joy Reid, and I forget the other Black woman that he mentioned. The context clue would be Black women. They are all Black women. So Charlie Kirk was talking about Black Sheila Jackson Lee. Thank you. Thank you. Charlie Kirk was talking about Black women. Charlie Kirk, in that statement, goes on to say that they are he used affirmative action. They are telling us that they aren't qualified for the positions, that they leaned on affirmative action. When they bring up affirmative action, who is that directed toward? That's another context clue. Black people. So we got two context clues already. Black women, Black people. And then he went on to say, you stole a white person's spot. That's the third context clue that tells you he's talking about Black people, Black women. Okay? So he didn't say Black women don't have the brain processing power. But the context clues tells you he's talking about Black women. Why do I have to explain this? Because yes, in saying that, putting that out there, in one of the videos that I put out there no, it wasn't a video. It was a post that I made over on social media where it mentions that Charlie Kirk said that Ketanji Brown Jackson, Sheila Jackson Lee, Joy Reid, and Michelle Obama, are telling us that affirmative action got them their positions. Yeah. And I had people down in the comment section. He never said Black women. Bitch, I'm an educated Black woman. I understand context clues. MAGA, you may not have paid attention in elementary school when we learned about context clues, but I did. And in his statement, I can pull out the context clues that tells me he's talking about Black people or Black women specifically. So JD Vance, that was one of his rebuttals. That's one of his rebuttals. He didn't say Black women. So throughout the segment, he used that time to bring on members from the Trump administration. They talked about how they used context clues to talk about how they want to stay in power and how they're going to use JD Vance and other people in the administration to stay in power. That's what I saw all of these clips. I can garner context clues. Now, here's what I'm saying about J.D. Vance. One, we noticed that J.D. Vance, when Charlie Kirk was murdered, J.D. Vance immediately fueled up Air Force Two and flew out to Utah and escorted Charlie Kirk's body back to wherever it was for the family, right? That's number one. J.D. Vance all in the midst with the family, front and center, and with TP USA. He's got so much to say about Charlie Kirk and his following. That's number one. He flew out to Utah to collect the remains of Charlie Kirk, to escort the remains back to wherever, right? That's number one. Number two, he's putting out all of these statements. May God, thoughts and prayers, God be with the family, offering condolences and all of this stuff repeatedly, talking shit about the left and Charlie Kirk this and Charlie Kirk that and that. That's number two that I picked up on, right? Number three was him sitting in Charlie Kirk's seat, sitting as a host for Charlie Kirk's podcast. That's number three. And all of that tells me J.D. Vance recognizes that MAGA nuts are not his following. That's Donald Trump's following. Okay? MAGA nuts are Trump supporters, not J.D. Vance supporters. Okay? The other segment of the right, where there's hundreds of thousands of people following an individual, would be Nick Fuentes, that Groper army. They aren't going to follow J.D. Vance. Nick Fuentes is still alive and well. That's his crew. Okay? But now that Charlie Kirk has been murdered, there's this group of millions of followers that now has no leader. And J.D. Vance is trying to scoop up those followers, because I believe he's running for president in 2028, and he needs to have him a following. Will it work? I don't know. But when I see snake ass, slippery ass, slithering ass J.D. Vance and the moves that he's making, I believe that's why he's making those moves. He's trying to get Charlie Kirk's followers. Those are voters. Charlie Kirk's followers translate into voters. The people who follow Nick Fuentes, they gonna vote for who Nick Fuentes tells them to vote for. And Nick Fuentes is over there on his live stream telling his people not to vote for Republicans.
10 years into this, we get, oh, Epstein's, that's all fake. Here's the MLK files that you wanted. And you go, really? Fuck you. Really? You bury the Epstein files as if that's not bad enough. You're going to lie to our faces, tell us it's a Democrat hoax. If you're not going to go with the lie, you're not a real supporter. You're not a real one. Oh, and now, well, here's some MLK files that are a load of shit. Isn't this what you wanted? We're the most transparent administration in history. And you go, fuck you. What do you mean? What a lie. You're lying. You know you're lying. You're lying to our face. You know we know you're lying. You don't even care. You're just giving us the finger and rubbing it in our faces. I don't want their support anymore. Well, fine. You don't get it anymore. Nobody should vote for Trump. Nobody should vote for Republicans. Trump must fucking pay for this statement to say, I don't want your support anymore. Every single Trump supporter, every single Republican needs to say, okay, bet. You don't want our support? Forget about the midterms. Forget it. The 2026 midterms, it just needs to be a Democrat avalanche at this point. And that's not because I'm a Democrat. I'm not. I don't like the Democrats. I hate the Republicans more because the Republicans are traitors. because I have voted for Republicans. I have supported Republicans, and they shit on our face. And now he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein cover up, oh, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are. You are, and honestly, and if you watch my show, you know I've been very critical. I've never been this far. This just goes to show this entire thing has been a scam. When we look back on the history of populism in America, we are going to look back on the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in American history. And the liberals were right. The MAGA supporters were had. They were. When we look back in history, we will see Trump as a scam artist.
So the Groypers aren't going to be following J.D. Vance. See, Nick Fuentes is further right. They only care about immigration and the subjugation and oppression of Black and brown people, right? They've even got their own. They don't care about that LGBTQ stuff over in the Groyper universe because they've got their own facet of child. When I tell you going down this rabbit hole has taught me a lot. Yeah, they've got some males in the Groyper universe that feminize themselves so that the men in the Groper universe who can't get women can be with those men. They're saying that Tyler Robinson had a romantic interest who is the roommate who is transgender. That's fluent over in the Groper universe. Yeah, Savvy. I've been learning a lot about that Groper universe. Groper army. Yeah. Uh-huh. A whole lot of this other stuff, this transgender stuff that MAGA is against, that they ain't interested in all of that. They are racist down to the core. They want Black and brown people either subjugated and oppressed in this country or booted out of this country. That's their main goal. That's it. Everything else, they ain't worried about that. They're not worried about that. What did they call them? Flurries? Fluffies? When I told y'all I needed that break on Sunday because of the things that I had seen, yeah, furries. Thank you, thank y'all. It's furries. Yeah, I learned about furries. There's several different terms, trans terms that they use that's prevalent amongst the Groper universe, and I ain't mad at it. Do your thing. Do your thing. This is why they're so hateful towards women. The Groypers, they are truly hateful towards women. And I'm not saying all of them aren't dating women. I'm saying that some of this is happening over in the Groyper universe, and it's not a problem over there. Not fluffers. They corrected me. It's furries. Furry. It's furries. Yeah. And so that's what I learned about the trans person / roommate that Tyler is romantically involved with. That's a part of this investigation. That's what I learned about that, baby. Yeah, they don't. Yeah. And I don't know if I want to come in and talk further about it. I don't want to. Uh, yeah, this is probably as much as I'm going to talk about it. So JD Vance is looking for his crew. And now that Charlie Kirk is no more, he's trying to get a hold of Charlie Kirk's crew, in my opinion. Those are voters. Mhm. And I don't know if Nick Fuentes I saw Fuentes down in the chat. I don't know if he's um living that. I don't know if he's a part of that. Uh but yeah.